Rolls-Royce is widely known as the maker of some of the most luxurious automobiles ever built. For over a century, its cars have represented the very peak of engineering perfection, craftsmanship, and prestige. The richest people in the world, royalty, industrialists, celebrities, and world leaders, have dreamed of owning a Rolls-Royce. Yet what many people don't realize is that this legendary luxury brand began with the struggles of a boy who spent his childhood in poverty and child labor. The journey from hardship to history is what makes the story of Rolls-Royce truly remarkable. The story begins in 1863 in a small village in England. That year, Henry Royce was born into a modest family with limited means. Life was already challenging, but tragedy struck early. When Henry was only 4 years old, his father's business collapsed, leaving the entire family without financial support. They lost stability and security almost overnight. The situation worsened when Henry's father passed away when he was just 9 years old. With no provider left, Henry's mother was forced to work as a maid to support the family. Meanwhile, young Henry began working at a very early age, delivering newspapers and doing small jobs simply to survive. At that time, his future appeared uncertain and filled with struggle. However, destiny had something different planned for him. When Henry turned 14, a turning point came into his life. One of his aunts recognized his intelligence and potential. She believed that Henry deserved an opportunity that poverty had denied him. Determined to help, she arranged for him to join the Great Northern Railway Company as an apprentice. This opportunity changed the direction of his life. Over the next 3 years, Henry worked relentlessly. He spent his days learning practical skills in the workshop and his nights studying books. During this time, he developed knowledge in carpentry, mathematics, and mechanical engineering. Most importantly, he became fascinated with electricity and machinery. By the age of 17, Henry Royce had become a highly capable mechanic. His skills quickly earned him respect in the industry. A few years later, at the age of 21, he was working as an engineer for a company known as Maxim Western. Although this job gave him valuable experience, the company soon began facing financial difficulties and was close to shutting down. At that moment, Henry had two options. He could easily join another company as an employee, or he could take a risk and start something of his own. Royce chose the second path. Using only £20 in savings, he opened a small electrical engineering workshop in Manchester. He named the company F.H. Royce & Company. Soon after, he partnered with his friend Ernest Claremont, who helped manage the business side of operations. In the beginning, survival was the only goal. Royce accepted any work he could find. He repaired sewing machines, fixed electrical fittings, and handled small mechanical jobs. Slowly, he began noticing a growing demand for electrical components such as light fittings and wiring accessories. Seeing this opportunity, Royce began manufacturing products like arc lamps, bulb holders, and electronic doorbells. This decision changed the future of the company. Royce's products were known for their exceptional quality and reliability. Customers quickly recognized the difference. As a result, the company began growing steadily. By the year 1900, its annual sales had crossed £20,000, which was a significant achievement at the time. By the age of 38, Henry Royce had built a stable life. He had a family, a growing company, and plans to expand his manufacturing facilities into a much larger factory. Everything seemed to be moving in the right direction, but success rarely comes without challenges. In 1901, the British electronics market faced intense competition from powerful German and American companies. These international manufacturers entered the market with advanced technology and lower prices. As competition increased, the prices of electrical products fell dramatically. Royce's business began to suffer heavy losses. The financial pressure and stress affected his health. His physical and mental condition started deteriorating rapidly. Concerned about his health, Royce consulted a doctor. The doctor advised him to take fresh air and rest. One simple suggestion was to buy a car so that he could travel and relax outdoors without exhausting himself. Following this advice, Royce took a vacation and purchased a French-made car called a Decauville. Unfortunately, the car disappointed him. It produced excessive noise, its brakes were unreliable, and the engine frequently overheated. For a perfectionist like Henry Royce, this was unacceptable. Instead of simply tolerating the flaws, Royce decided to fix them. Initially, he planned to make small improvements, but as he examined the car closely, he realized the design itself was flawed. Eventually, he completely redesigned the vehicle. The result was a much better machine, quieter, more reliable, and more refined than the original. This experience gave Royce a new idea. If he could improve an existing car so dramatically, why not build one from scratch? With renewed motivation, Royce assembled a small team of engineers and began designing his own automobile. After months of careful work, the first Royce car began taking shape. It was a 10-horsepower, two-cylinder vehicle built with remarkable attention to detail. Royce focused on 4 key principles: quietness, lightness, durability, and reliability. When the car was finally ready, it was tested on the road on April 1, 1904. The test drive covered nearly 50 kilometers without any problems. Royce later built 2 more versions of the same model, continuously refining the design. The cars were exceptional, but Royce lacked the business network needed to market them globally. That is when the second key figure in this story appeared: Charles Rolls. Charles Rolls was a wealthy entrepreneur and a passionate motorist who ran a successful dealership selling high-quality automobiles. While attending an exhibition, Rolls noticed Royce's cars on display. Curious, he examined them closely. He was deeply impressed by their engineering quality. Rolls immediately realized that Henry Royce was one of the greatest engineers he had ever encountered. Rolls had already been searching for a British manufacturer capable of producing a truly world-class luxury automobile. Royce's designs perfectly matched his vision. Soon after meeting, Charles Rolls and Henry Royce agreed to collaborate. Their partnership would combine Royce's engineering genius with Rolls' marketing expertise. The cars they produced together would carry a new name: Rolls-Royce. In March 1906, Rolls-Royce Limited was officially established. The company introduced several models, including 10, 15, 20, and 30 horsepower vehicles. To promote their brand, the company participated in prestigious racing competitions such as the Isle of Man Tourist Trophy. Rolls-Royce cars quickly proved their performance by winning races and setting new speed records. These victories helped establish the company's reputation for excellence. However, the company's most iconic car was still yet to come. Later in 1906, Rolls-Royce introduced a revolutionary vehicle powered by a 40/50th horsepower 6-cylinder engine. The car had an elegant silver body and operated with extraordinary smoothness and silence. Its performance was so refined that people described it as ghost-like. For this reason, the car was named the Silver Ghost. To prove its reliability, Rolls-Royce organized an extraordinary endurance test. The Silver Ghost was driven for over 24,000 kilometers across 2.5 months. Throughout the test, the car performed flawlessly without major mechanical issues. Demonstrations further showcased its smoothness. In one famous experiment, a coin was placed on the car's bonnet while it was running. The coin remained standing upright, proving the engine's exceptional balance. The Silver Ghost soon became known as the best car in the world. It became the preferred vehicle of kings, queens, diplomats, and business leaders. The partnership between Rolls and Royce had turned into one of the greatest collaborations in automotive history. Yet tragedy struck unexpectedly. Charles Rolls had a strong passion for aviation and was one of the early pioneers of flight in Britain. On July 12, 1910, while flying a Wright Flyer aircraft, the plane's tail section suddenly failed. The aircraft crashed from a height of around 100 feet. Charles Rolls died in the accident at the age of 32, becoming the first person in Britain to die in an airplane crash. Despite this devastating loss, Henry Royce continued his work with determination. Soon after, however, his health deteriorated severely and doctors diagnosed him with bowel cancer. After a major surgery, doctors believed he had only 3 months to live. Remarkably, Royce survived and eventually recovered. During his recovery, he continued improving the Silver Ghost, strengthening the chassis, improving suspension, and increasing ground clearance. After World War I ended in 1918, Rolls-Royce continued expanding both its automobile and aviation divisions. New cars such as the Phantom replaced the Silver Ghost and maintained the brand's reputation for luxury. In 1931, Rolls-Royce acquired Bentley, saving the company from bankruptcy and creating another legendary partnership in automotive history. Sadly, Henry Royce did not live long enough to witness all of these achievements. On April 22, 1933, at the age of 70, Sir Henry Royce passed away. Yet the legacy he created continued to grow. Over the decades, Rolls-Royce produced iconic vehicles such as the Phantom series, Silver Shadow, and modern Ghost models. Today, Rolls-Royce automobiles are manufactured under BMW ownership, but the philosophy established by Henry Royce remains unchanged. Owning a Rolls-Royce is not just about owning a car. It represents perfection, craftsmanship, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. The brand stands as proof that even someone who begins life in poverty can create something timeless. From a newspaper-delivering child to the founder of the world's most prestigious automobile brand, Henry Royce's journey is one of the most inspiring stories in business history.